And so we often don't look to see the hologram. How does this action affect something that seems unrelated but is related? Because all things are related. And so we want to protect nature, and we need to find different ways. We need to go beyond who's lurking in our waters to start with. You know, because war makes us, impoverishes our the wealth of nations. In the past, they felt that war stimulated economies. Well, war is not as stimulating our economies all over the world now. We've gone beyond it. We're not going out there with swords and beating each other up. You know, it's too dangerous to fight in today's world. So we need our brains to expand so that we can become more telepathic, we can comprehend the other person's perspective so that we can live in peace and cooperate on this planet.
Is that what you're doing with your Echo SOS?
Yes, it is. And I'm doing it on a very basic level, because I find that when we connect with nature, we connect with ourselves. And so if any of you haven't heard of SOS, please look on the Chris Griscom site or the Light Institute's site. The purpose of it is to alert each other when there's some catastrophe, imbalance in nature, sometimes caused by humans, sometimes caused by something else that's going on, so that we can help without interfering, but we can help align and balance the energies to protect human life, to protect all life, while at the same time helping Gaia, helping Earth balance in such a way that we evolve in a perfect way. And that's why I'm doing it, because I have long since learned that when we call rain, it can rain. And if we calm the winds, then the fires stop. And we can direct a hurricane to go back out to sea. And we have the right to do this. We have to do it in a way that is not manipulative, but is within alignment to the laws of nature. And the more people that begin to do that, we don't have to meditate together, we don't have to meditate in the same way, but the more that we focus our consciousness of, here's what I have to offer this, and here's this hurricane coming. What frequency of light does it need to go back out to sea? So you're not stopping the hurricane. There's a purpose in that hot air coming from the sea and the cold air coming from above that spins those winds. There's a purpose for that. But it doesn't have to destroy us. And so when people begin to do simple things like that, to apply their consciousness, they feel more peaceful. They feel that they have some relationship to their lives and to nature and to beauty. And this is important. I mentioned this in the Evolution of God book, that I sort of did a very large survey of people. Go into a memory when you felt connected to the divine source. They always said it was in nature. They always said they were looking out across a huge landscape, or a butterfly touched them, or they listened to the sound of a bird, or they looked at the flowers, and they suddenly felt not alone, but loved and a part of the world. And so, because nature has that capacity, we want to align to it and to realize that we can have that conversation that changes our sense of self, changes love.
So we could really do that with, as we extend out to nature, to balance nature, we could do that with humanity as well.
Of course, and that's the same process that we always use here at the Light Institute, to use light, focus it in your consciousness, whether it's a hurricane or a person or a situation. Bring it into your mind's eye. What frequency of light, what color does it need from me to come into balance? And in that way, we suddenly become the givers. Therefore, we begin to be powerful. Therefore, we feel our place. We feel purpose. And as we feel that purpose, again, we become peaceful. And the beauty of it is, it works. Something happens. Something happens. It rains, or the wind's quiet, or the earthquake goes someplace, or whatever it is. Yes, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
it was an article around talking about the topics of aging.
Yes.
And I mean, I was actually quite shocked by how they approached the article, because it was this scientist or another basically saying that aging needs to be identified as a disease, so that, then whoever else can identify the genes that, cause aging, and so you can, create all of these medical things that, will create the proteins or whatever is needed. So I was just wondering if you could just expand on the whole conversation of...
Thank you. We have a universal thought form, and the medical world continues to imprint that, which is that as we go along in life, everything begins to break down. And so we age and we die. But really the reason we age is that we stop allowing our receptor cells to receive life. We stop receiving. We begin to think that we're never going to get it. All those dreams we had when we were young, that they're never going to happen. We begin to punish our bodies because they don't look the way they used to. And so it's our thoughts that stop the receptor cells, and this is physiological, from receiving the hormones. They're always going on about how as you get older, you no longer make this enzyme or that hormone or this or that. But when I studied it, I found that that was not true. And there are places in the planet where men produce children at 90 and live to be 150. And this is verified. And so what's the difference between them and us? They don't think of themselves as aging. Women give birth at 60. And we would be horrified at that conversation. And so it necessitates a change. Aging is in the mind. And it may be in the mind of the cell too. But that mind of the cell is open to our imprints. If for 40 years you tell your body, I hate myself, I hate this life, I'll never get what I want, pretty soon your body will go, well, I'm out. We see that ideology when people are together for many years and one of them dies, and within 3 months the other one gets cancer and dies. That's a choice. That's a consciousness. That's a I want out. And so we have to want in. We have to want into our bodies, and we need to begin to receive. And to do that, we're going to have to receive on new levels, more pure energetic levels, as we were talking about. Pure light, pure radiation, pure life force energy. And pay attention to your stem cells. That's the big thing in medicine today. Ho-hum. They are your stem cells. All you have to do is say, hey, stem cells, wake up in there. I want this skin cell like this. If your skin replaces itself every 90 days, then why does it just have free radicals and get old and so forth and so on? Because nobody's paying attention. Nobody's home. So it's time to pay attention to our stem cells. It's time to pay attention to our receptor cells. Again, the body puts out the hormones that would keep us young and juicy and sexual, and the sexual body goes, I don't want any more of that. Yeah, don't want any babies, don't want to make love, don't want any more. And so they close, and the hormones go into the blood, and we age. It doesn't have to be that way. Wild animals don't do it that way. So let us all be young. Let us all be ageless.